Just when we thought Hunter couldn't be any bigger of a scumbag, we learned that he raided his own daughter's college bank account to use that money for his own Hunter-type activities. The story says $20,000 was taken out of daughter Maisy's college fund, and he spent that money on H's and drugs after bankers were warning him. They actually sent emails we'll take a look at saying, yo, Hunter, you got to get your affairs in order. But apparently he was in a month or weeks-long binge. We'll see what the story says, but he had no money, only 44 cents left. And this is from a guy who was making a ton of cash trading on his daddy's name. We've covered many of the stories here, $83,000 per month when he was on the board of Burisma, and he's just broke, got no money to spare. So he's got to tap into Maisy's college fund. And of course, if you do that, you got to pay taxes on that. There are penalties for dipping into those types of funds. So the story says that Hunter withdrew his daughter's college savings to help fund a months-long drug and hooker binge. Smartest man Joe knows, and still hasn't paid the taxes on it. Documents unearthed reveal. The first son's profligacy was cast in sharp relief in papers that came from IRS whistleblowers who investigated him for tax crimes. And we've talked a lot about these guys. Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler both came out, said that we were in the investigation looking into the Biden crime family, and their investigations were completely obstructed by the DOJ, IRS, tax, and the FBI. We've talked a lot about that here. But we know that in late 2018, Hunter was in his, quote, penultimate odyssey through full-blown addiction, which is what he wrote in his memoir, Penultimate Odyssey. He's been journeying around for 50 years. He was skulking in Connecticut motels and frittering away thousands of dollars on prostitutes and crack. So his private bankers, they were working at Wells Fargo, sent him an email back in December 17, 2018. Joe Biden's just gearing up to run for the presidency. We're just getting close to the time when the Hunter laptop is going to be discovered by the FBI, and they're going to sit on it for a period of time. Hunter gets an email from Wells Fargo. They say, only 44 cents left in your bank account. This is according to records that were obtained by the Daily Mail. And Hunter responded in a jumbled reply that we'll read through. Now, of course, you know the photographs, bunch of debauchery from the president's son, all this stuff covered up by the media as Joe Biden was running against Donald Trump, censoring the New York Post and stopping this conversation from ever being exposed when all of these images were out. But to spare our eyeballs, we'll fast forward through that photograph and zoom in on Hunter's actual daughter. This is who she is, and you can see this perfect photograph of Joe's face, which is kind of permanent now. But you can imagine he's quite shocked to learn that his son, the smartest man he knows, who advises him on all sorts of, I would say, life affairs, is dipping into his daughter's funds for college. This is Maisy. She's Hunter's third daughter. She was in her final year of high school, a senior, supposed to be celebrating a job well done, when he withdrew the funds. She's like, I can't wait to go to college. And there's no money. She and her sisters, along with Joe and First Lady Jill, they had tried to stage an intervention just weeks earlier at the president's Delaware home to get Hunter to go back to rehab. And when we covered the Hunter Biden plea deal here, we learned that he was in and out of rehab so many times, they literally did not even want to put a number on it. When his lawyers were talking to Judge Norica, she's like, yeah, but how many times? He's like a lot, Judge, like a lot, like more than 10, she's a lot. So here's what one of the emails says. That money was gone. Basically, Hunter was getting a ton of money. And we know here's an email. It says, Katie and Hunter. The PC account has a check that's trying to clear. $780, check number 2443. The balance is 44 cents. You've got 44 cents in your account. Somebody's trying to cash a check. What do you want me to do about it? I need an answer by 11 a.m. In your personal bank account, there's $1,710 in there. And in your LLC account, there's $2.26. So Hunter is not doing so well in his business bank accounts. He's got $1,700 in his personal account, which is a little low for somebody who has been trading on his daddy's name for his entire life. But 44 cents in his, I would presume, professional corporation, his LLC, is $2. Pretty low. So you can see an email comes from Hunter. He gets notified, hey, Hunter, you've got no money, man. What are you trying to spend money on? He sends an email from Robert Hunter back on Monday. He sends this over to Edward Pruitt. He says, regarding your email, he says, hey, can I transfer $20,000 from Maisy's account, that's his daughter, to my personal account? That's the college fund, man. Don't you want your daughter to go to college? With the understanding, he knows what's coming, that there will be penalties, meaning that was a tax haven type of an account, right? You can put money in there without being taxed on it if you're going to be using it and spending it for certain purposes, in this case, your daughter's education. So if you take it out and you use it for crack and hookers, you don't get the same benefit that you get for putting it into an educational account. So Hunter says, okay, well, I know there'll be a penalty, whatever I have to do, let's clear it up. If at all possible, to begin with, let me know ASAP. Thanks. I don't care, right? If I get hit with a tax penalty or a withdrawal penalty or whatever I need to do, I'm fine with that. And so that came across on December 17, 2018. December 20th, just 3 days later, we're getting close to Christmas time and so on, 7:47 a.m. Hunter's out, probably on an all-night bender, and waking up. He says, yo, he sends this email to someone. We can't see, it's all redacted. He says, yo, begin read last couple sentence first. He's talking like in caveman language. Yo, begin read last couple sentence first. I, Hunter, President's son, on crack. Live you both, but read the end first. So he says, love you both, but read the end first. Got it. He says, liquidate what you can. Send the Burisma payment, getting that Burisma money, to 5858. Do not pay a single auto pay or check that I have not personally authorized. Close down all accounts in an orderly fashion. And I just learned that, unfortunately, my ex-partner of X, quote, more than 2 years, has access to my accounts and has directed payments from my accounts to bills that are not my responsibility. So again, for clarity, whatever money comes into my account, please do not send any money to anyone or anything. Disperse the entirety of any money, including liquidation, to the account that I can withdraw the funds. Cash today, at a physical branch of Wells Fargo. He's like, man, I need this crack and I need this activity right now. I need it now. I included George, my lawyer, on the email, and just FYI, for all concerned, everyone's like freaking out. This is not a problem or a negligence or an oversight or a wrong in any way, shape, or form of Edward, Cynthia, or any of my brokerage team at all. Not a single bit. All is my responsibility, 100%. Thanks, guys. Now, at the time, you can see he's just shoveling money around. Maisy, she's now 22. She was in her final year of high school. Hunter said that he was going to go to rehab when they staged an intervention at the president's Delaware home. This is all in the run-up to 2020. Staged an intervention. He promised to go to treatment, didn't go to treatment, but emails show he took that money from those accounts and went in part to paying various prostitutes who visited him at hotels in the following days. His Porsche car, his webcam subscription fees, and other personal expenses, all courtesy of his daughter Maisy's college account. His assistant, Katie Dodge, plaintively emailed him tuition bills that were due and payments for his Porsche. And he told his assistant, pay for the Porsche and his health insurance, but she would only be getting half her paycheck and that he would deal with tuitions when the time comes. So crack money for Hunter, no money for Maisy, because Hunter has prior activities that are more important for him to engage in rather than focusing on his daughter's own health and wellness and education. He'd rather spend money on Porsches, crack, and hookers. So it's no surprise that Hunter scammed his own family. He's been scamming everybody, including the American people, by trading on his daddy's name when trying to do deals all across the world, including with the Chinese when he was dipping into the energy sector. But even though Hunter's deals were nefarious, the energy sector itself is not nefarious at all. The energy sector is booming like crazy, and there are many good, clean energy companies out there, just like the sponsor of this video, ATHA Energy. ATHA Energy is right at the epicenter of the uranium revolution, which is happening right now, and they're becoming a major player in America's global strategy. A lot of people are talking about uranium and nuclear power. In fact, Elon just said the following. He said, "It is now extremely obvious that Europe should restart dormant nuclear power stations and increase power output of existing ones." That's because nuclear energy just makes sense, and most people agree. According to Pew Research, they're reporting that uranium is also backed right now by bipartisan support. One of their recent studies revealed that voters from both parties increasingly favor uranium production for reasons that cover both ends of the political spectrum. And Americans should care about this because America is the #1 consumer of uranium in the world. And by some estimates, America guzzles down nearly 20% of the entire world's uranium supply. And about half the United States' emission-free energy is nuclear. And here's the kicker. A large chunk of this uranium is imported from Russia. And now, regardless of what you think about the conflict, both parties in America absolutely don't like Russia right now, meaning that they're going to have to start thinking about where else they can get that precious uranium from, since a new bill banning uranium imports from Russia just passed a House U.S. subcommittee. We've also seen the price of uranium have a monumental rise, going from under $20 per pound to an eye-watering nearly $70 per pound just recently. The uranium ETF has also grown by 267% since the lows of March 2020, outperforming the NASDAQ, which is up by only 107% by comparison. And Microsoft gets it too. They are now posting job applications for nuclear energy experts for futuristic projects that includes powering their AI, their cloud and data centers, and they're heavily investing in the development of small modular reactors to power the whole thing. ATHA Energy holds the trump cards in terms of land and financial assets. With a whopping $25 million in cash, they have capital on hand for exploration efforts. And that's good because they own the largest land package in the Athabasca Basin, which happens to be the world's richest uranium field. The basin is located in Saskatchewan, Canada, and ATHA Energy has over 3.4 million acres. The land was surveyed over 10 years by the most successful uranium staking team in Canada, and you can see the size and the scope of the project in this map. It's massive. At the helm is Troy Boyd-Jolly. He's the CEO, and he has plenty of prior experience in the Athabasca Basin. He previously led another company called NextGen, their project team, through the development of the Arrow deposit, which is considered to be the largest high-grade uranium development project in the world. So if you believe in a cleaner, more secure, and technologically advanced America, be sure to check out ATHA Energy on US ticker SASKF. With a cash pile of $25 million and the largest land package in the world's most uranium-rich basin, ATHA is the golden ticket for anyone looking to invest in America's energy future. Elon and Microsoft are on board with nuclear power. Many more will undoubtedly join. We'll be there, my friends, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you there as well on the next one.